glowed like a gold exclamation point to God. The Kitchells had never gone to church, nor considered it. They did, however, send Christmas cards with Vermont-style snow and steeples framed against a blue sky. When Liz and her sister Allison were little, they'd made tree decorations in art. Sheep from cotton balls, tree chains from colored paper, stars from felt and glitter. Their mother never put these up. They were imperfect, and Mrs. Kitchell believed in the perfection of a Christmas tree. Liz and Allison's mother and father had bought a new Christmas tree holder to try out this year on the truly big tree in the formal living room. Usually you had to go to war with your tree, hefting it in the air, trying to lower it straight down into the holder, getting sap and needles in your eyes, while everybody else hollered that you had it crooked. With the new kind, you fastened the tree trunk in the cup while the tree was still lying down, and then you turned the tree upright, and it adjusted itself. One of the century's finer inventions, their father had said. Liz sat in our English class and looked out the window, a trick everybody used when trying to think, as if the sky gave out ideas. It was snowing, the first snow of the year. December snow was slow and toasty, like thick blankets. Mrs. Wren had not bothered to prepare a lesson plan. This was a daily occurrence. She'd just filled the time with creative writing, which exempted her from effort. Mrs. Wren had long, hard scarlet fingernails, which she spent much of the class period admiring. Now she clicked them on her desktop, in the rhythm of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. "Today for our creative writing exercise," said Mrs. Wren, "your goal is one perfect paragraph." She liked paragraphs because there was less to correct. The class didn't mind. They liked paragraphs because there was less to write. "I'm setting the timer for 10 minutes, she added. Translation: the remaining 30 minutes of the period would be spent reading the stuff out loud. At least it wasn't the VCR and a film clip. Liz thought of yesterday's creative writing topic. What was the most upsetting thing I witnessed this week? It was actually a pretty good assignment, and Liz had a pretty good first thought. The most upsetting thing I witnessed this week was my parents watching television. Every night on the local newscast, needy people had their dreadful stories of loss and suffering and poverty taped and dissected. "At Christmas," said the reporter, "we must remember the neediest." The camera work was brilliant. Slowly scanning a city block, it turned joyful Christmas into pain. You could tell that the hearts of the neediest were dried and split like old vinyl. Liz had the loveliest home that money could create, and 30 seconds of the neediest made her feel homeless. But Liz's parents were not interested in the neediest. "Why should we have to look at that?" her father had said irritably. "Why can't they stick to reporting and stop laying guilt trips and demanding money?" He hit the mute button. The television continued to report, but without sound or effect. "Let me show you what I bought today," cried Liz's mother, who shopped at stores where the bags themselves were worth framing. She was a world-class Olympic-level shopper. "The most beautiful beaded gold and green Christmas balls," said her mother, taking them one by one from their wrapping of sparkly tissue. "They're from Spain." "I love them," her father said, holding each ball like a treasure. "Which tree shall we put them on?" It was the first week in December, so the trees were up, but bare, still in the planning stage. "Do you ever think about what Christmas means, Dad?" asked Liz. She kept her voice casual and quiet. "Do you ever think about that baby and how—" But in the Kitchell family, the word baby was not a good one. "Liz," said her father, "I suppose we're Christian if we fill out forms and don't want to check off Islam, but other than that, it's crap."